Video. Hey, listen, if you got a YouTube channel or a stream or a podcast that you're doing and you want a dope intro, hit me up. All you need to do is leave me your name or your channel in the comment section, and I will contact you directly to get you set up with an intro. All right? And while you're here, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for me. Don't say so. Talk to you guys soon. Peace and blessings.
Welcome to the real world.
#new media.
Hey, what's going on?
What's going on, JJ? What's going on with you? Happy Monday, sister.
Happy Monday, definitely.
I gotta change my picture to my profile picture. That way you can see me.
Hey, Macrina Daniel, shout out.
Yeah, shout out to Macrina, Danetta, gang.
Shout out to Netta. What's up, honey?
What's going on? Yeah. How's your day, sister?
It's good. It's good.
Right.
Yeah, I definitely have had a great day. What about you?
Had a good day. Yeah, so far so good. Yeah, as a Monday, waking up, rise and shine and everything. So I start work I work from home, and everything. So I'm usually, so I start like 11:30 a.m. So I get to sleep in after my live streams that I have on the nights. So yeah,
Right.
it's not a bad thing at all. So it feels pretty good. Yeah. Oh, Macrina, you want to see me? Macrina said we need to see you, Daisy. Well, you'll see me. My face reveal will be very soon, so we'll talk about that.
There you go. There you go. I was thinking about actually going on camera too. I think it would be cool if we go on camera.
For sure. Yeah. Most definitely. Whenever you're ready, just let me know and I'll make sure I get ready for that face reveal. Yeah, for sure.
So the topic of today is you are not your thoughts. This morning I was one of the things that Jen and I do is we subliminally heal. We listen to a lot of audiobooks and things while we're sleeping. And one of the guys we like to listen to besides Dauchsy Meditations is Eckhart Tolle, the author of The Power of Now. And he had some YouTube stuff on this morning that we were watching.
Mhm.
And I was like, wow, that's some good points he's making, because people oftentimes tend to get caught up in their own thoughts, and they allow their thoughts to take them over and become those thoughts. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Which is not healthy, and then that also deteriorates the body.
Exactly.
But it's crazy, dude. I've had that. That usually happens. Hey, Vegan Knowledge, what's up, sweetie?
Mhm.
That usually happens when you have a panic attack.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're sitting there, and the next thing you know, you have this thought of something that you think is going to happen.
Mhm.
It's not even in the real. It's a thought.
Yeah.
And a lot of people end up confusing the real present moment with the thought that's going on in their head.
That's right.
and they get swooped away by that, and then the thought consumes them and they become the thought. All of a sudden they're living the reality that's actually in their thoughts and not actually reality as it is.
Yeah, certainly, certainly. You're so right about that, Sister JJ.
Can be dangerous, you know.
Very dangerous. Yeah, the mind is so powerful. That's what a lot of us don't realize, that
Facts.
the thoughts that we tell ourselves in regards to us, especially if it's negative affirmations about ourselves, because I've been through that, telling yourself, I'm not good enough.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not good enough to be this guy, for this job, for example, or for this person. I'm not good enough. It's when you keep on, infecting yourself with these type of thoughts, you end up making, you end up believing that, and make,
Yeah.
you know, this ends up governing the decisions that you're making on a day-to-day basis. And you don't even realize it,
Mm-hmm.
and like they say, you are what you eat. What I mean? You are. So the same thing can be applied to this topic here. You are what you think. You know what I mean? And it's, with so many things are happening these days, with the pandemic and everything, when we are obviously in our enclosed space, it is, it we can get into our minds so easily, and think about these negative thoughts, and it happens all the time. And I know, when as humans, we're not perfect, but
Yeah.
we do have to get in the habit of, these positive words that we can reverb to ourselves. That way we're made able to actually live a life that we envision to have, because no one wants to live a negative life. Everyone wants to have a positive life as well. So I think that's where it starts. And you did mention a great way to do so, with the audiobooks that you've been obviously, listening to at night. So that's a great way to kind of do that.
You know, speaking of which, I have an excerpt here from the interview, and I'm gonna play that. The funny thing is, I downloaded two of them, but for some reason, the one that pertains to what you just said in
Yeah.
specific did not upload. I don't know why it's not in the cloud, but I'm gonna play the other one because it basically covers the same thing. This is Eckhart Tolle, guys, talking
Mhm.
about how you have to separate yourself from your thoughts.
Really strong emotion. For example, like right now, I'm like nervous. There's no reason to be nervous. Nothing bad could possibly happen. How do you overcome emotions like that? And jealousy, hatred, any strong emotion. Do you have any practical tips that we could try for that?
It's helpful to see the connection, which is usually the case, between the particular thoughts that you are thinking and the emotion that you feel. You totally believe in the thought, in other words, you're totally identified with the thought, then the body responds as if the thought were reality. I might lose my job. If you think that, you wake up in the middle of the night and then you start thinking more thoughts on those lines. The body can't tell the difference. The body kind of responds to the thoughts that go through your mind. What you think affects the body. The body believes your thoughts to be real. So when you think that you might lose your job, you've lost your job already, according to the body, and you're destitute. And that's how the body reacts, and that's how the emotion is created. So it's often then by seeing a thought as untrue, that you actually begin to become free. You can only see it as untrue if there's an awareness there that is aware that there is a thought. Without the awareness, there's only the thought. The thought then swallows up your entire consciousness, and there's nothing else you can do there. So actually what you said is very helpful. When you go to the microphone and you start by saying, I feel nervous, palms of my hands are sweaty because I'm here public. It's the beginning of allowing it to be there without feeling that I shouldn't be feeling nervous. Then you feel even more nervous. But if you allow the emotion to be there, there comes a little space around it, and there's an aware space. Yes, there's nervousness, but there is an awareness around it. So you're not totally in the nervousness. You allow it. And when you share it with others, it's a lovely thing. When you share any emotion in that way with others, rather than inflicting your emotion on them and saying, you did that to me. But when you say, when you said that, this is what I felt. There's an awareness there, rather than, you made me feel this. You can say, when you said that, this is what I felt. Or at this moment, this is what I feel. And everybody loves that, and there's an honesty with that, rather than coming out to the microphone and pretending not to be nervous. It's actually much more powerful, and you connect more deeply. If you ever go into public speaking, perhaps you will, you connect much more deeply to the audience when, instead of hiding the fact that you're nervous, you start off by saying, I feel really nervous. Then you connect with everybody. If you're pretending, you don't connect. So again, just a brief summary. See what thoughts are causing the emotion, which is often the case, or in other cases, if an emotion just arises, allow it to be the space for it, and it's part of your experience of the present moment, and you might as well say yes to it, because whatever arises in the present moment is as it is already. Whether you argue with it or not, the present moment is always as it is. And that's the isness. And when you become friendly with the isness, that in itself is a transformation of consciousness.
That's deep, right?
That's really deep. That's really deep. I mean, it's true though. I mean, because especially the part when you say that the thoughts are like so connected to the body. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot. A lot of times we forget that our thoughts are like our thoughts affect just the way we feel physically. You know,
Yeah.
we always talk about stress and how stress is very much a direct connection to just the way to just our physical health. You know, the diseases that we do obviously experience on a day-to-day basis. You know what I mean? And you did obviously, um, share a lot of times, JJ, your great story that you went through with your illnesses, and I went through as well. So I think that definitely correlates with each other. You know, it's really important to remember that.
That is an excellent comment by Macrina Daniel. She says sometimes the way we're taught, we always tend to be thinking negative because the brain is trained to think more negative than it is positive. It's a survival mechanism. Shout out to Coach Joe. What's up, Coach? They're gonna, the brain is trained to think negatively in a basically a flight or fight
Exactly.
response. It wants to protect you, so it's always projecting things that could or might happen, even though those things may never happen. The problem with that
Hmm.
is everybody gets caught up in that projection and they become that.
Yeah.
And in their mind, there's no difference between it just being a thought and reality. But that's where the awareness comes in. You have to learn how to get in the present moment and realize that's a thought projection. Either you're reflecting on something that did happen, which usually is why you're projecting that based on something that happened years ago or recently, which is also not real. And it's keeping you from being in the present moment and actually experiencing what actually is.
Exactly. Exactly. And exactly, a lot of us don't realize about just you know live living in that moment, right? And because I tend to I remember that I tend to think a lot of like, hey man, what's not like living in that moment and not and making sometimes impulsive decisions based
Yeah.
on whatever negative feelings that I'm experiencing at the time, you know. And I think that that is something that just based on some of the exercises that I was taught, just taking a deep breath and just stepping back from the situation and realizing that whatever thoughts that I'm going through, especially negative thoughts, I'm it's natural, but at the same time, true, I need to take time to kind of change that, and and make sure that I think positively, and as well as whoever that I can turn to at that time, whether that's you, JJ, or whether that's my father or a friend, and that I can turn to, or a sister that I can turn to, that's going to understand what I'm going through, and whatever conversations I do have, then that will obviously be turned into positivity, and I'm able to actually convert those negative thoughts I was feeling at the time to a positive thought. So that those are some of the things that I do recommend, but also some of the things that I do myself, because it always helps speaking with someone.
Shout out to Danetta
Yeah, shout
co-signing on what Eckhart Tolle said. Get friendly with the isness. Absolutely.
exactly.
Absolutely, sis. That's what you have to do. You have to surrender to the moment and get into the moment that you're in. If you get out of your head and become aware, that in itself is salvation. That gets you out of basically your own head. You can't run away from your own thoughts. And we talked about this last week, DZ. You
Yeah.
can't run away from your own thoughts. You can't get out of your head. So basically, if you succumb to what is going on in your mind, and you can't learn to um, become aware, then
Mhm.
you become a prisoner of
Like,
your own thoughts,
exactly. Yeah,
you know?
you become a prisoner of your own thoughts, and that is so. That
That's
is.
not a good place to be. I was there for a long time and I
Yeah,
got out of that shit.
yeah, it's the most scariest place ever. You know what I mean? Like I was, man, being in you, like just like pretty much like the movie Get Out, when you're in the sunken place. That's how
Hmm.
it goes, man. You're in the sunken place. That shit is real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That is real. But getting into a sucking place and everything, that's for real, because that's when you're too much in your own thoughts. And as just brothers and sisters, we need to kind of like have those sort of conversations that you're doing right now, because that helps us realize that there are better ways to cope with these negative thoughts, because negative thoughts are always gonna come up all the time, but it's just how
Yeah.
we cope with it, and everything.
Vegan knowledge saying by us trying to prepare ourselves for, for the worst that can happen,
Mhm.
what we end up doing is we tend to make up a story that never really even will happen. Good
That's
point.
right. Hmm.
Our mind tends to create soap operas. I remember T. Harv Eker always talks about that. Your mind creates soap operas, and you live in those soap operas. And
Hmm.
those things may never happen. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I'll be on the bike, and this was something that I learned to deal with, and Doxy helped me with this, that free your mind one that I was telling you about.
Yeah.
Um, you know, I was on the bike one day, and I know I have a heart murmur. Okay. I know my dad, when he was 30 years old, now this is all past programming coming back to haunt me and making me project. Okay.
Hmm.
I'm thinking about my dad had a mini heart attack at the age of 30, never had one again in his life.
Yeah.
Okay. So when I'm on the bike, every now and then, if I feel a weird jump in my heart when I'm working out or whatever, or
Hmm.
rhythmia, then I get scared. I'm like, am I about to have a heart attack?
Hmm.
What's happening? Am I pushing myself too hard? And then I remember how old I am and all that kind of shit. And then it starts compiling. And the next thing you know, I'm being overtaken by those thoughts. And it
Hmm.
makes me want to get off the bike. A huge fear arises.
That's
And what
right.
I've learned to do is, hey, stop in the moment, Get
Yeah.
aware, realize what's actually happening to you is number one, your heart may just be adjusting. It may be gas.
Yep.
Okay. You may just have to burp.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
your mind has turned that into a soap opera that is telling you, because of past programming, you're going to die right now.
Yep.
And then
Yep.
that innate fear of death that we all have and suppress comes to the forefront, and you get scared and it debilitates you. And what you
Exactly.
got to stop doing is letting those thoughts take over you. You are not those thoughts.
Yeah.
Okay, I have to remember, no, you're actually here on the bike. Forget about the 100 times that you worked out before this. Forget about the fact that you were born with that heart murmur and have always been able to do sports and have never had a problem. Forget about the fact that you eat heart healthy food and fast half the time. So
Hmm.
chances are you're healthy as an ox. You're not freaking having a heart attack. Get out of
Exactly.
your head. You got gas. You had to burp. Let it go.
That's the,
Separate yourself.
yep, yep. That's that mind playing tricks on us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and when you separate like that, it works. When you
So
free
much.
your mind, or free yourself from your mind, shall I say, you
Exactly.
actually feel a lot better. And then I go, well, girl, stop playing with yourself. You are in your head right now, and your thoughts are running away with you. Get to going, and I pedal faster. I challenge it. If I'm going to die, then I'm going to die. I'm going to do it in the moment. I'm not going to spend these precious moments that I could be enjoying the endorphins that are coming to me from working out, and waste precious time thinking about something that may never happen. Whenever it happens, we don't know when it's going to happen. So why am I going to spend time focusing and worrying about that? When it happens, I'll deal with it in that moment.
Exactly. You are so right, because so many times do we try to think ahead of what will happen to us if we do this. You know, I mean,
Right.
yeah, sometimes it's good to kind of think about the consequences of what will happen, especially when if we know that we're doing something that's not good for us.
Right. 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 Right.
Native, we are able to kind of balance the probabilities, I guess, of what the situation, what kind of a situation will end up being if we do this. But if it's something like as simple as, for example, just exercising on the treadmill, for example, or doing something that you've always been nervous in doing, you know what I mean, like going to another country and everything, why not
Yeah.
take that leap of faith that you've always wanted? Like, it's all about, instead of thinking about, oh my goodness me, what's gonna happen, just being quote unquote paranoid about it. Why just don't we just do it and just be confident in ourselves that we're able to achieve great results in such a situation? We're
Yeah.
humans. We live in an imperfect world. It happens and everything, but we cannot stop ourselves from doing the things that we love to do.
I highlighted Danetta's comment because
Yeah.
I identify with that. And when I heard him say that, Danetta, I thought about you saying that the other day. She said it's so crazy that I can relate to
Mhm.
what he basically said, to own, to say when you're nervous, because people can relate.
Yeah.
People, if you let people know, hey, listen, it's my first time doing a live stream, or it's my first time coming on a panel of a live stream. I'm a little nervous, so if I stutter a little bit or if I lose my thought, just
Mhm.
bear with me because I'm scared.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
People will that nurturing thing
Mhm.
that's within people will come out and forgive you and let you know, okay, okay, cool. Instead of you trying to act like you're not nervous and come off like you know what you're talking about, when you're sitting there thinking, what the hell am I getting ready to say? I had a thought, but I don't know what it is now,
Mhm.
because I'm nervous. Talk to people. I used to tell my reps that on the phone all the time. Listen, if you forgot the script or if you don't know where to go, relate to the customer, talk to them, tell them, listen, it's my first day. Even if you've been there 6 years, it's
Yeah.
my first day. I'm sorry. You're going to have to forgive me. I lost my train of thought for a minute. You'd be
Mhm.
surprised how people want to help you feel better.
Most definitely, most definitely. Like, I've always been in situations where
Everybody's been nervous.
everybody's been nervous, exactly, and just me admitting to that person that I was nervous, just made everything better. And shout out to Danetta. She did so well. She's been doing amazing.
We can't even tell,
I
Donetta.
think you can tell, yeah, and it's amazing that she's been doing so. Shout out to you, man. Like, you're a great sister, man, great queen, and just the way you handle yourself in the live streams and everything. I don't call it my show; I call it our show. You know what I mean? Because we all play a role in it. Queen royalty. Shout out to Queen royalty, man. Welcome, Queen.
Shout
Um,
out to Queen Royalty. Shout out to HL Kid. He's
yeah,
got HL Kid on the
it's
name
all kid,
now
man.
instead of Douglas.
You changed it.
Thank
You
you for
changed
that.
it. For sure. You changed. Hey, shout out to HLK, man, my brother right here. But you already know. Yeah, I was saying Danetta. She did such a great job just carrying herself and
Yes,
everything.
she did.
And I didn't even notice that she was nervous, man. So shout out to you. It's great. It's such a because we learn from that. You know what I mean? Because just
Oh
her
yeah.
saying that gives me even more confidence and like, oh wow, when I get nervous, I can be like Danetta as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great thing, and Queen as well. She's obviously been doing great and everything, and Queen did mention briefly that this is not something that she usually does.
I
So the
was
fact
gonna
that,
say Queen said the same thing, and you
yeah,
can't
yeah,
tell when they're on there. They sound really poised and really relaxed.
exactly. She's very poised, relaxed, and everything, confident in in what they're saying. So, man, shout out to all the queens, man, that come through to the late night lounge, and obviously J&J video because and J&J, man, you sound confident the whole time. I was like, God damn, man. I was like, yo, what's up? Like, you always like, I learned a lot from you like that. You know what I mean? So like, you're a great example to me, sister, because
Oh, thank you.
yeah, because it's like just the way when you talk with your people, you impose your authority, and I love that. It's just about your tone. You know what I mean? You make
Wow.
like you
Jen was saying that to me the other day. I appreciate
yeah,
that.
yeah, exactly. People notice, you know what I mean? It's like this is something that I respect about you because we all learn about it. Yeah,
Yeah.
the Netta says
Yeah.
she's a pro. Yeah, you
What
are
happened?
pro. Yeah,
You
like,
know
you're a
what?
pro,
You know
bro.
what? I'm gonna tell y'all one thing, and shout out to Coach Joe because Coach Joe kind of helped me with this. The first time I went on DJ Stream was
Yeah,
commentating with Coach Joe on one of the Hornets games, and I was nervous as hell. I
yeah,
was nervous as hell, but Coach Joe being there helped me because, first of all, he was doing
yeah.
the majority of the talking, so I didn't have to really come in there, and I didn't really want to because I'm not a sports commentator and I can't see the games as well. So
Yes,
if there's a move that's happening, it's going to take me a minute to say something.
exactly.
So, and I said something about it relating, and he made me feel comfortable. He's
Yeah.
like, "Hey, don't worry about it, my sister. You good to go. You good to go. We all, it's all love." And
Yeah,
that immediately brought me off of it, and I was able to just kind of chill and relax. So yeah, a couple months ago, it was my first time, and I was nervous as hell. So I can completely relate.
I understand.
So
Yeah.
I'm kind of used to it now. So yeah,
Exactly. Shout out to Coach Joe for making you feel comfortable, man, in that situation because not just anybody will make you feel comfortable in such a situation. You know what I mean?
right,
Way too many times have I seen co-hosts of shows or just even on YouTube that they don't fully compliment their co-hosts or whoever they are on the panel with, and that is definitely not something you want to do. So the fact that he kind of allowed you to be yourself and gave you time and everything, that's what really matters at the end of the day. You know what I mean? That way you can just come in and be your own self and
absolutely.
command it the way you want to. You know what I mean? So that's a beautiful thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah,
Absolutely. And it's so funny because, sometimes I'm so glad that you're on here with me, even though, I can do solo streams. It's cool to have a partner
for sure.
because if you have a partner, there's always extra thoughts that you may not have been thinking, that partner helps. And when you're nervous and you kind of get tied up of what to say, that
Yeah.
person can kind of come in there and be your wingman, you know what I mean, and help out. So I appreciate you for
Oh,
that.
thank you. Really, truly, it's a pleasure as always. You know how it is, and coming in here and we complimenting each other so well, and you definitely, we sync really well in, especially have, you kind of complimented so well. I remember on the first day when I first came, we did the live stream together. Shout out to Keith Fuse's late
King
house.
Q's lit, right? I was just about to say
Yeah,
that.
yeah. And Brother Rev said that, oh man, you and Sister JJ and DZ, JJ and Video and DZ are the thing that we never saw we could get, like we deserved, you know what I mean? It's like, wow, yeah, and I was like, wow, I didn't realize that it was that great, you know what I mean? And
Are
I
you
did
kidding
that
me, dude? We are fire, man.
was fire.
We
No,
giving people them gems.
we're giving them gems, man. You know what I mean? In that moment, I was like, "Yo, he's right."
Thank you, Rev. Thank you, Rev. I mean, really. I mean, I'm joking. I'm not that vain, but I thank you. I appreciate that. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
you believe in us. You believe in what we're doing, and you try. And we know you're busy down there. Shout out to Rev being down in Charlotte representing New Media Gang.
yeah, man. Going crazy out here. Shout out
Definitely.
your brother Rev, man. Shout out your brother Rev.
Definitely.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
great. You're a great leader. You're a great leader.
Oh,
And we appreciate you and everything that you're doing.
good time.
Um, but yeah, man, I don't want, we don't need to stay on here forever. I think we drove that point home. You know me, I don't do 2 hour streams, man. I get on here and say what I got to say and I roll. You know what I mean?
For
I
sure.
think people get it. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
cannot let your thoughts overtake you. You got to learn to get aware. If you got to put a hot matchstick to your hand to wake your ass up and get in the moment, do
Yeah.
what you need to do to get in the present moment and realize, hey, I'm just having a thought. That is not real. That is a thought in my head, unless it's a good thought. Now,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, unless it's a good thought. And again, good and bad is subjective. Okay. It's
Yeah.
all in the eye of the beholder, just like beauty.
That's
But
right.
if it's something that is going to put you and your complete spirit in a positive vibration, and damn it, think that thought, it's the
Mm-hmm.
negative ones you got to worry about.
It's the negative
Okay.
one.
It's the
Yeah.
negative ones you got to worry about. If it's something that, hey, I'm going to make this happen. Now you do have to, there becomes a time when you're just dreaming too. Okay. Those
Yeah.
good thoughts can be daydreams, and you
Mm-hmm.
got to get in reality. If you want that to happen, then you still have to get in reality, because you got to be in the present moment to make that stuff happen.
Exactly. Exactly.
Anything that you want good to happen, you have to begin in the present moment. To your actions in the present moment make those good things eventually come to fruition. So yeah,
Yeah.
even then you got to get out of your head and get in the moment.
Getting the
But
moment. Yeah, there's that. It's so true about that, because so many times have I been in such situations, and I remember a recent time, like, where I was like all in my head and everything, and I felt like in that sunken place. But a lot of times, what we forget is that there's a man above us. That man above, God. You know what I mean? And I remember I told God, God, please help me. As soon as I said that, I got pulled out. You know what I mean? It's
yeah,
because there was nobody. I remember there was nobody at the house at that moment. It was only me, because my brother left. Everybody, all my roommates at that time left the house. So I was pretty much the only one in the house. You know what I mean? And I would usually turn to my brother for advice. So whenever I was going through hard times, that's why I always encourage our brothers and sisters to have their close ones near them, whether it's a friend, somebody they can confide in, because that person can, elevate you. But in such moments, we should make a habit of turning on to the Most High, you know, and that's what I did in that moment. Now,
yeah,
if it's not the Most High, if you don't believe in God, you can definitely turn to whatever whatever mechanisms you have at that time that you because we live in like in the age of information. So
Yeah.
obviously there are these YouTube videos that you're talking about, those meditation videos you're talking about that can really help us, get out there. And obviously the breathing exercises and all that, making sure that we learn how to breathe and everything, because a lot of us don't learn how to breathe properly. You
I'm
know what I
telling you
mean?
something, it is
Yeah.
probably one of the most healing practices besides drinking a ton of water that you can do for your body.
Most definitely it is,
It
and
floods your body with oxygen. If you're not down with it, look up Wim Hof breathing on YouTube, WMHOFF. And it's a guy who actually teaches breathing, different breathing techniques. And not only
Mhm.
that, this man is probably what, about in his 60s or 70s. This guy
Mhm.
swam, it went to the, I think the Arctic, and went under the ice and swam for
Yeah.
about 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And he literally, that is something that would normally kill somebody. You're not supposed to be in freezing below zero water. But this guy went in the ice and swam under the ice for like at least a good couple of minutes and holding his breath, all that stuff, and came out unscathed. That's what he does. He tells you, hey, listen, go take a cold shower. Let your body get used to that. When you do different temperatures to your
Mm.
body, it teaches your immune system to kind of battle that stuff. And he strengthened his immune system doing that, but it was all something that he trained his mind to
Yeah.
withstand. And if you stand there, it's like walking on hot coals. The mind is capable of leading the body through a whole lot.
Yeah.
And we just barely tap into the surface of what we're capable of doing. And it's all through the mind.
It's all through the mind. Yeah. It's really powerful, man. It's like we underestimate the power of the mind. I know it's very cliche to say, but that's true.
But we do. We
We do.
really do.
Yeah, because it's like we don't realize that usually is the way to kind of heal ourselves. uh, it
It is
really goes top to
absolutely the
bottom.
way.
It is
Yeah.
actually the way. And I wanted to bring, because I did find an excerpt from French philosopher René Descartes. um
Okay.
parce que yeah, if you guys understand pas français, ouais, donc yeah, but René Descartes, he is a French philosopher, and he stated, "I think, therefore I am." So that was back in the day, where they kind of propose that thoughts are evidence that you exist, right? But now so much has evolved these days, that philosophers and neuroscientists, like, they agree that our thoughts do not define who we are. You know what I mean? And so I think that it's like, because like we've always kind of, I think, just from history, we've always kind of like a lot of people kind of let the thoughts define themselves. And
Hmm.
even these philosophers thought that was the case. You know
You
what?
know, I've heard that saying with somebody else. I think it was Shakespeare or somebody else. I think, therefore I am. And it, so as a man thinks, so shall he be. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yep.
And it's absolutely true. It's absolutely true. You can think something and you will become that thought. Of course, not in the moment, but eventually you will become that thought.
That's
And
right.
you will surround yourself with things that actually make that thought happen. You know something? I
Mhm.
mean, I was upset today about the news about Jello Ball not making the Hornets roster.
Mhm.
And I'm off topic, but I'm not. I don't know what went through Jello's head when he was in those games.
Mhm.
Only he knows what was actually going through his mind. But I'm gonna tell you something. I'm a little pissed off about that because I'm I'll be honest with you,
Yeah.
and I might make some enemies with this, but I really don't care because
Mhm.
that's one of the things that I'm proud about. New media, that's what we do. We keep it real. And I'm
Yeah.
going to venture out there on a limb and I'm going to say one of the reasons that Jello did not make the roster is
That's
because
right.
of Jello. It wasn't because of LeVar. Wasn't because of some bullshit. The fact that he was wearing some shoes. Jello,
Yep.
think about it. Jello's first game, he was stoked. He scored 16 points in 16 minutes collectively. Okay. Had he kept that same mentality the whole way through and every game that he got in, he performed that way. You know, if they're not throwing you the ball, like Rev said, find some counter moves, cut to the paint,
Yep.
get a damn rebound,
Yep.
play aggressively. What did LaMelo do, DZ, whenever he got when they were playing that bullshit and sitting his ass on that bench and did not give him minutes? When he got minutes, what did he do? He capitalized on it. He was in the mindset, he capitalized. Jello did not capitalize, because had Jello capitalized, Jello would be on a roster.
Right now.
Jello would be on the freaking roster, dude. Okay, I am blaming Jello. I'm not blaming LeVar. I'm not blaming the Hornets. I'm not blaming anybody else. And I love Jello. Don't get me wrong. That's why I'm so pissed and passionate about it. Jello fucked that up. I'm sorry. Okay, Jello should have played. He should have balled out every time he got on that court, and he did not do that. He did not do that. I'm not hearing he didn't get the ball. Go get that ball.
Facts.
You find a way to get that ball in your hands and show them that you belong on that roster. And he did not do that. So that's why he didn't make the roster. Okay. It is some other crazy crap wrapped up in it. We know. Yeah. But ultimately, what did LaMelo do? He made it impossible for them not to build that team around him. He made it impossible for them not to start him. Why? Because when he got out on that court, he balled the F out. He made sure they knew who he was and what he was about. And had Jello done that, same thing would have happened.
Cook, sister, cook, man. Cook. What is going on today, man?
I'm feeling some kind of way about that, man. I heard the news and I did not like that. I'm like, God damn it. I knew that was going to come back to bite him.
Man, you brought out the stove, you brought the gas, you brought the pan, you got the oil, everything tonight. You know?
Hey, man. You know, it's in the mind. That mind should have been right, and he should have been in them games the way he was supposed to be in there.
Exactly. I totally agree with you. At the end of the day, especially with the whole Angelo situation, right? People forget these guys are men. They're no more little boys anymore. Yes, they are young men, right? But they do have the ability to take situations by themselves. You know what I mean? And ride with it. And LaMelo, you mentioned a great point that LaMelo, when he first arrived at the Hornets, they were doing whatever they could to kind of suffocate that man. You know, I mean, a lot of the things that happened early on, he did not deserve that. You know what I mean? But
he didn't let it phase him. He didn't let them thoughts overtake him.
Exactly. That is the difference between him, Lonzo, and Jello.
Absolutely.
You know? LaMelo took that situation and be like, okay, it is what it is, but I'm a great NBA player. I'm a superstar. So let me act like one.
He got friendly with the isness, Danetta.
With the isness, exactly. He got friendly with the isness.
What is happening? I am on this court. I am on an NBA court. My team is losing. I'm at the point right now, and I need to act like I know and play like the killer I know I am.
Exactly. And look at what happened.
Look what happened.
You know, he showed up and he balled out. You know what I mean? So, and you can say that LaMelo, because he did that and he proved that he was able to get out of his thoughts and be the player that he is, that gave an opportunity for Jello to kind of come in and be like, you know what? Let me show these let me show that.
Let me show everybody, the scouts, the haters, the lovers, everybody. Man, look at that shot that the guy threw to him at the buzzer. He had no time to think.
Yeah, no time to think.
He literally turned around, released it, and it went in. He was in the moment, dude. He wasn't in his head, because if he was, all right, let me position No, he turned around, made a shot went in.
done.
He wasn't even in his head. He wasn't letting thoughts overtake him. That's the player he needed to be throughout.
That's the player he needed to be. Exactly, just do things. Don't think about it. Even if you
Yeah,
need, just do it. You know what I mean? But unfortunately, you know, I think he allowed, and I'm not jealous. So I don't know exactly who, like, what he thinks. But from an outsider's perspective, I think he kind of allowed these thoughts of, you know,
everything.
everything.
What shoes should I
Contact,
be wearing right now? What is going on? Am I going to make the pressure he put on himself to make the roster?
the
He
roster.
almost had to forget that and let it go and just be jello and just ball like he knows he can.
Exactly,
The
exactly.
roster spot would have taken care of itself.
It was taking care of itself. I'm very confident about that. Everything would just flow just like it is if he just, settled himself and be like, you know what, let me just play my game. Let
That's
me just
it.
play my game and allow everything else to flow. And I really, because man, we support these boys, man. We support Jello, Mello, and Zoe. I want the best for all of them. We all want the best for all of them. It's just objectively, like we want to make sure that he plays a game that he knows he can play at the end of the day. It's all about that. Once you tell yourself that you can do it, you can obviously you are obviously able to achieve the results that you want to achieve. But if it was easy, everybody will be able to do it. You know what I mean? But
Absolutely.
unfortunately, it wasn't. And I hope that he's able to find a situation, that's great for him. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
yeah, so I'm very happy, yeah, that like that he's still around and everything. I hope that he does get the opportunity that he
I'm
deserves.
gonna
And
tell you one thing: if he gets to that G League, he really needs to. And if there's any way possible that he is listening to this stream, which I highly doubt, but if he is, hopefully he will take that advice in the G League and drop a bomb on them.
yeah,
Drop a bomb on them. You know
drop
what
it
I mean? Let them, kill it. You
and
know.
exactly. And I do know you had your concerns about Lavar in the past, and I think I shared it with you. My concerns with Lavar as well. I think that he put so much undue pressure on these boys that that's why they are in certain in these positions right now. You know what I mean? The only person that I feel like that came out of it through that adversity was Mello, to be
Yeah.
honest with you. And
Well,
actually,
that's because Melo has a lot of characteristics that are similar to LeVar. He's not LeVar, but he's very similar to LeVar in the way that he has extreme confidence and he doesn't let anything scare him.
exactly, exactly,
I
exactly.
put the link in there in case anybody has any feelings about this that they want to come and speak on the panel before we go. But yeah, man, I really think that if he had gotten out of his head and just balled out, I think that roster spot would have been his. I really do. Whether he rode the bench or not, you know what I'm saying? I think he would have I really think he would have made the roster. A lot of people may say, oh, you're wrong. You don't know. There's other people. There's Book Knight. There's all these guys that they recruited and drafted. But, look what Book Knight did. Book Knight just got out there and balled out. And whether he did well, he took the shots.
He did. He
You
he
know,
played hard. He played. He didn't care about
he
his
played very hard.
none of that. Yeah, he didn't care about his percentages, none of that. Like he just went there and showed out. You know what I mean? And that's what you're
Yeah.
supposed to do as a basketball player at the end of the day.
You
So
know something? I tell you what, I just got an idea for a stream tomorrow. The mindset of an athlete. Let's do it.
let's do that. Oh, my goodness, my
The
goodness,
mindset of an athlete.
myself an athlete, man.
Okay, because I'm tired of talking about problems. Let's talk about some solutions. You feel me?
I'm already coming up with some your references right there on my mind right now, Sister JJ.
So y'all heard it here first the day before. Tomorrow is the mindset of an athlete. If
Yeah,
you are an athlete, you are more than welcome to come. And we will drop the link tomorrow in case y'all want to do that after we cook. And I'm telling you, it's gonna be a fire stream.
it's gonna be a real stream. You know what I mean? Because it's important that such mentality is touch everyone, regardless of what your personality is.
Oh
You might
yeah.
be a more reserved person, or very social person, but we're all affected by nervousness,
Yeah.
humans, jitters and everything whenever we're faced with situations that we don't feel comfortable with. You cannot tell me, and nobody can come and tell me, no, I'm this 100% macho, I'm confident in every situation. Nah,
Right.
don't lie. You're also nervous too. All right. Does that
Yeah.
mean you're scared, like a scared little person, or
Everybody gets nervous. Everybody has an innate fear of death because we don't know when it's going to happen, regardless of what you say.
yeah, exactly.
It's like it's there. It's natural, though. There's nothing wrong with it. It's natural, but you
Yes,
just can't let it overtake you.
you can't let it overtake you, Sister JJ. You're definitely right. You need to the difference between the winners and I don't want to say losers, but let's just say it, winners and losers.
Lizzie
Yeah, but the
got the L on the forehead right now
yeah,
with the
the L,
fingers.
yeah, on that forehead. But the winners between the people that are able to take advantage of situations and the people that will allow situations to pass them by and still be at the same level that they do not want to be in. The difference is the people that do have that mentality to kind of push through, because
Yeah,
everybody goes through hard times, right? We all go through
absolutely.
hard times, but are you able to push through it? You know what I mean? And you're not going to hit 100% of the shots. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just come be like, you know what? I just want to just relax, man. You know what I mean?
It's
Like,
it's how you respond, you know what I
how
mean?
do
When
you
something
respond?
happens to you, it's how you respond, you know? And
Exactly.
it's like when he was on it and when nobody was throwing him the ball, hey, what happened? Go get it.
Yep.
Go get it. Take your fate into your hands and go get it because nobody's going to give you that. They all want that roster spot. You know what I mean?
Exactly. They all want. There's always somebody that if you want to say roster spot, you can apply the same thing to the NBA as well. I mean, to just life in general. There's always going to be that other person that's going to take that same opportunity. The question is,
Yeah,
are you going to be that person at the end of the day?
right. We love you, Jello.
We love each
we
other.
just we just we just want you to make that team, man. We just
That's
want you to make that team and get on that G League and show them who you are, man. Show them who you are.
Show you are, man. Exactly, Sister J. Just show us who you are, and if Jello, if you're listening to this live stream, man, we just want the best for you, man. You know
That's
what?
it.
Just want the best for you, just like we just want the best for our significant other or brother or sister or our family, our sibling or whoever. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, we all just want the best for each other, no
That's
matter.
it.
I want the best for my haters as well.
Hey,
I
listen,
want the best for my
I
haters.
told my grandma one time that I pray for everybody. Like,
Yeah,
like when we were talking about it, and I'm like, I even played. I remember I couldn't have been any more than about 8 or 9 years old, and I said, I pray for bad people too because someday they can turn good. You
yeah,
know, and she was really proud of that. I pray for my haters. I pray for people that have expressed love to me.
mhm,
I pray for people that I don't necessarily like, only because in the end of things, we're all together, dude. We
oh,
are all together. And, and I always use that example. If an asteroid came and hit the earth, we're all going. There's no one race that's going to make it. There's no one group of people or one person or anything that's going to survive that. So we are all in the same boat. Look at what COVID did.
mhm,
We all got affected by COVID. It didn't have any preferences. So, why would I, basically hate on, so you know what I mean? What the
yeah.
hell is the purpose of hate?
Well,
So
yeah.
it's all a good thing. Again, it all goes back to thoughts,
I'll get back your thoughts. Yeah, exactly. That's why, like, what like when
I don't
somebody
want negative thoughts like hate overtaking me
hate
because
over
that changes my chi and my body is affected by that. And I don't want that.
exactly, like too many times have I tried, like when somebody that quote unquote doesn't want the best for you in the moment. So many times have you tried to kind of retaliate back, and I
It makes no
I just can't
sense.
do it. I just cannot do it. I can't have so much hate in my heart for someone. You know what I mean? I cannot harbor that much hate. You know
Yeah.
what I
It's not
do?
healthy.
Yeah, I just bless the person, and I'm like, I hope you have a great life. You know what I mean? I hope you achieve all your goals in life and everything. I just move on. You know what I mean? Because
Yes.
if you harbor so much hate in your heart and infest your heart with so much hate, that can be very dangerous. You know,
It is dangerous because
yeah,
it brings your body down.
it brings your body down. Exactly, and then now you have start having the topic of this stream, like your thoughts are becoming you. You know what I mean? Now you become that hate that hate that you don't want to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
The other person is. You call them a hater, but then you become the same hater. You know what I mean? It just
absolutely.
it's a byproduct of it. You know what I mean? So I always say, make sure you lead with love, and everything will come back with love. Not everything, at all times, but most of it, most of the time, if you lead with love, people will return with love as well.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, with that being said, guys, we're going to leave you with that thought of the day. Make sure you get out of your head and lead with love. Love yourself first and foremost. If nobody else loves you, at least if you have love for yourself and know that the Creator loves you and you are all one with the Creator, we're all one with the Creator, that'll get you through anything.
Exactly. That will get you through everything. Exactly. And the net I even mentioned, it's all about higher frequencies and higher vibrations.
I
Exactly.
try to stay on that frequency, my sister.
Yep.
I
Yep.
try to stay on it as much as I can.
Algorithm as well.
Control your algorithm. We talked about it last week. If
Algorithm.
you didn't see that stream from Friday, go check it out. Control your algorithm. All last week, we were talking about how you can help control your algorithm and stay on an even keel. So,
Exactly. That's so
yeah,
important.
I love you guys. Please do me a favor. If you didn't are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. If you did not like this video, please throw a like on there for me and help the algorithm.
Oh, man, the
And
algorithm.
I hope you guys, DZ, you have anything else you want to add before we get out of here?
Oh man, shout out to you, Sister JJ, man. Thank you again for bringing me on this beautiful topic that I think is very needed. You know what I mean? And every topic that you've been bringing out, man, has been so fire and amazing for each one of us. And I think these sort of topics are the ones that a lot of people just don't want to talk about. The
Yeah,
negative thoughts that we allow ourselves to get, to be infested by. And we do become eventually these people. It's real. It's real. That's not magic. It's just the way
it
where
is.
we
It's
it
the
is.
isness,
Yeah.
you
Exactly.
know?
The isness, exactly. So, but thank you again, and thank you so much to everyone that tuned through, and because at the end of the day, it's very important to remember that these conversations need to happen. And so shout out to the whole chat. Shout out to Danetta, HL Kid, Macrina. Oh, Macrina Daniel, you're asking what's my handle um, on the profile. Okay, so my handle is so I do have the channel DZ's Late Night Lounge. So if you look for that, you should be able to find my profile there. Also, I'll drop my IG as well, and then you can follow me there as well.
Yeah, his emblem on YouTube looks just like his avatar right there. If you
Yeah,
type that in, you should be able to get it.
exactly.
And I can put a link to his channel in this video. So when I'm done, if you want to check out, go into the description. I'll have a link to his video if you want to go there and subscribe.
For sure, for sure. I appreciate you, sister.
DZ, what do you your DZ usually comes on 12:30 Eastern Standard Time,
Yeah,
and he has the Late Night Lounge, which is absolutely awesome. And Donetta actually and Queen Royalty and I actually host it with him, usually, or one of us, or two of us, or three of us, or
yeah,
so we're usually on there with him, DZ and his ladies, right?
yeah. Ladies, yeah, the DZ's lounge with the ladies,
DZ and the
man. You know
ladies,
what I
right?
mean? So we talk about all types of things, and shout out to Danetta for being clutch. This here, she's always clutch, man. With the link there. So yeah, we me and Sister JJ and Danetta and Queen Royalty, the Queens. We have a we talk about topics
A
that
lot of relationship topics, which are awesome.
exactly that nobody wants to talk about. Seems, what I mean. People think that's a taboo to talk about these topics, so we talk about that. It's late night. You know what I mean. So make sure you grab
Hint,
your
hint, clue, clue.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
late night, so
It's
it
late
gets
night.
spicy.
That's right. Oh yeah, the way you say hint hint clue clue. Oh my God,
Coming to the lounge.
yeah, exactly. Go to the lounge, man. Make sure you grab your wine, water, whatever you're drinking,
Get
man.
something to sip on, something to smoke on, long as you sip and smoke responsibly.
Exactly. That's what happens, man. You just sip with a garbage cigar or something like that. You know what I mean? I don't know about your weed, but hey, to each their own, man. You know what I mean?
Hey,
Exactly out here.
you know.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But guys, remember, keep your thoughts clean, you know what I mean? And separate yourself from your thoughts, okay? If your thoughts are overtaking you, remember, you are not your thoughts, okay? You are you, and you are in the moment, and that will get you through.
Exactly. Never truer word spoken before. That's
Shout
it.
out to everybody in the chat. HL Kid, Coach Joe, King Fuselit, Cream Royalty, Markrina Daniels, Danetta, Vegan Knowledge. I love all of you and I appreciate you so much. And we out.
Yeah, man. Peace.